Previously on the Rod Pedersen Show.
How, I wouldn't say have they got over the Flames playoff loss, because from what I hear is they're not over it. What was the city like after they lost to the Oilers in 5?
Well, you know what, I think it's tough to say. You know, there's that great rivalry, and a rivalry is always fun. I think everybody was so excited about how the Flames were playing leading in, but of course it's disappointing. But, you know, everybody then had to cheer for Canadian team. Oh, that's how I felt. So maybe not everybody in this city thought the same way. But, you know, I think it's great. It's exciting for next year. We needed that for the city. We needed that for the economy. Yeah. So, of course, we'd always want to go farther. I mean, that's like saying, do you want to be 8th or do you want to be 1st? Well, of course. I'm not saying they were 8th, but whatever they were. So, no, it was great. But, you know, next look at the next goal for next year.
Well, losing's bad enough. And the reason I bring it up is, but losing to them is different, right? So that's why I wanted, because I wasn't here. We were gone, and now we're back, and I'm like, oh boy, I feel bad for them.
And I was watching on TV, obviously. I was at a game. My kids went to the Red Lot, I think, once, which was super fun for them.
That looked amazing, yeah.
Yeah, they said it was great. But, you know, I think to even play against McDavid, to play against a person like that who just, I mean, it's amazing. And I think, you know, I don't care who you are, what team you play for, to watch greatness is always exciting.
Get ready for the Rod Pedersen Show.
If the Tampa Bay Lightning hope to three-peat as Stanley Cup champions, they'll have to become the first team in NHL history to overcome a 2-0 series deficit to win back-to-back best-of-7 series. Can the Lightning come back and make this a series? I voted yes, 63% saying no, the Lightning cannot come back.
This is the Rod Pedersen Show.
Hello, Canada and Canadian sports fans around the world. Welcome to the RP Show. We are back. For those that are tuning in and watching, we are live from Great Eagle Resort and Casino, the Stage Bar. For those listening on the podcast or listen live, just trust me. We're on the Stage Bar here in Calgary's entertainment destination, ready to talk sports for the next 2 hours on your old television, yakking it up on the old yak box. Bernie Nicholls will be joining us from BetRegal, our exclusive betting partner, to talk Stanley Cup Final. And from the NHL Network, Julie Stewart-Binks on the day of the NHL Awards, which have been moved from Las Vegas to Tampa Bay, and that's coming up tonight. And JSB will be joining us from the Florida Gulf Coast side. We've got the Moose with us. We didn't leave him at Bears Paw Golf Club, although it looked like you might have wanted to stay last night. Everybody was having a great time there at the Rocky Mountain Rotary Classic Golf, Celebrity Golf Classic.
Oh, it was so great. I had, such an awesome time. I feel bad for the 4 guys I golf with because I turned out to be their celebrity guest. But, no, we had a ton of fun, and it was a great night.
We do things a little differently here on the RP Show. Listen, all those other sports shows, of course, they're talking about Tampa Bay and Colorado, and we'll get to that. Not to mention the Blue Jays, the Memorial Cup, and everything else. But we do have some stories that I want to get to. And we have some winners that we need to announce as well. Our Taco Time Father's Day contest. We've awarded some winners here, random winners. They've sent in their photos, and Clark said he's got them here. I don't know whose you want to put up first. Clark, tell me who you're going to throw up here. That is Edmund Bankowski. Gotcha, Eddie. Thank you. He is in the Queen City. We'll be sending out a gift card from Taco Time to you for $50. And Adam Ridioff in Hamilton with his crew, obviously at midfield at Tim Hortons Field on the weekend. So those are our winners of our Father's Day Taco Time contest. So thank you, boys. So I guess you could actually hit the Quick Six show horn. Would you mind hitting it, Jordan? And I hope that we hear it today. I hope that we hear it.
How about that?
Okay, here we go. My number one point, and again, that's why you tune in. The stories, not just the sports talk. I have written here, Rod and Bo. And I said to Darren as we were driving back from the golf course last night, I said, Darren, I think in the opening segment, I'm just going to turn it over to you because you had the funniest take on myself and the star quarterback of the Canadian Football League's Calgary Stampeders, Bo Levi Mitchell, who clearly doesn't like me at all. We extended the offer for him to come on the program yesterday live from the Bears Paw Golf Club, and the quote was not a chance, and there might have been an F-bomb in there too. So you knew we were going to run into each other at the supper, which I was the master of ceremonies of the supper last night. They put the mic in my hand, and you just giggled your butt off watching the hijinks.
Well, it was funny, right from the beginning. It was literally like two exes showing up to the same venue, and they hadn't seen each other since the breakup, right? They both knew each other was going to be there, so it was awkward right from the beginning. We were looking around, where's Bo? And you could see when he came in, and we were all outside by the carts and mingling and registering, he was looking over, and then inside...
I saw it.
Inside the banquet hall, it was like Rod's here, Bo, and you just circled the perimeter, but always stayed on opposite sides of the room until... it got so bad that he was in the buffet line. There was nobody else left to go. And as you like to do, you let everybody else eat first. And clearly Bo does too, because he was the second last person to eat. And
I'm like, I'm not going up there.
Yeah, you can't go in line when he's there. So it happened all night. And then, you put him on the spot.
Just hang on. Tell him about the music in his golf cart.
So we're going. I circle back 18. I asked if you actually wanted to hop in, but you're like, no, I'm good.
I said, no, we might run into Bo, and I don't want to.
And sure enough, 2 holes later, we did. He's coming down one hole, we're going up the other, and he's by himself like all the celebrities were, and he's rocking the country music. And I'm like, this guy is just like Rod. He's listening to 90s country. It was Michael Pedersen, Drink, Swear, Steal, and Lie. Right? Great song, and he's pumping it, and he's like, hey, boys. I don't think he recognized me, but he's having a great time bumping the country. I'm like, if they only knew, they would get along. They're the same person, just like, a decade apart?
He's at the roast beef carving station. I'm watching from across the room. He's got his hat on the back of his head. And I turned to Darren. I said, look, he's a redneck. He's a hillbilly. Darren goes, so are you. Oh, yeah. So anyways, I don't know if we're going to get along. But I did signal him out, just say on the microphone before we move on.
In a good way. He said, wanted to recognize Bo here, who led the biggest comeback in CFL history, new father, giving up his night off to be here. So what could Bo do in that situation? You could tell it was just uncomfortable. And why wouldn't it be uncomfortable for him? So he put up his hand and said
He turned as red as his helmet. And to be honest, I didn't know if people in that room of all the golfers would know the story. And as you said, enough knew. Yes. So that was point one. Thanks, Bo. We're going to get you on the show. You just wait. So to point two, and you guys have fun with the story. I see the comments just lit up in the chat on that. Point two is the Stanley Cup Finals. Steven Stamkos, Pat Maroon, and Andre Palat each had a goal and a helper, and the Tampa Bay Lightning scored 4 times in the second period and beat the Colorado Avalanche 6-2 Monday night in Game 3 of the Stanley Cup. With the win, Tampa's 8th straight at home in these playoffs. The Lightning trimmed the Avalanche's series lead to 2-1. Game 4 goes Wednesday. And listen, I did say Tampa in 6, so obviously I'm hoping that they make this a series, and clearly they've made it a series. This is the highest scoring series, Darren, in 40 years, longer than you've even been alive.
Wow.
The first 3 games have all had 7 goals or more. Because I'm sitting back going, no matter how this turns out, I'll be happy for both teams. The good news is hockey's fine. We don't need to worry about having a summit and tweaking the rules and goals are down and this and no. It's just been a fantastic series. A lot of our viewers, the majority, I went and checked the poll results from yesterday. Almost 60% said Tampa, they're done. They're not coming back. This will be a sweep. So they were wrong. I'm not going to be like the pundits on TV saying, I told you they're going to come back. But I'm just glad they did.
Yeah, no, for sure. And we knew they had this in them, right? Talked about how John Cooper managed Andrei Vasilevsky in Game 2. Well, clearly he knows his goaltender came back with a much stronger effort. They were finishing and chased Darcy Kemper in that game. So good things happened. And all of a sudden, we got a series, back in Tampa. And we knew that something had to give, right? Colorado was so good on the road. I believe they hadn't lost. Tampa was so good at home. I think just the one loss, or it was the other way around. But, yeah, we got a series. And it could be 2-2 going back to Colorado, and wouldn't that be something?
John Kirby in Edmonton says, you and Bone need to grow up.
I think it's fun.
From John Ohm in Winnipeg. Grow a pair, Bo. Jason in Red Deer, Alberta. So we got to know, Rod, did you meet Bo yesterday or last night? Did I meet? He knows who I am, if that means anything. But no, we did not walk up and shake hands, and I don't know if that day will ever come. And we'll be fine. So moving on. Again, Game 4 of the Stanley Cup is on Wednesday night. Point 3. NHL GM of the Year. Listen, I'm reading the NHL public relations Twitter feed every day, reading their website every day. I found it, pardon me for saying, a little confusing, Moose. The awards go tonight, but they're not in Las Vegas. They're in Tampa Bay. You read off the list of awards that are going to be handed out tonight, but the one that isn't, or one of the ones that isn't, is the Jim Gregory Award for NHL General Manager of the Year. I'm searching all over the place trying to find who the finalists are, and I couldn't find those. And I think you read that they're going to announce the finalists tonight for the General Manager of the Year. And I know the fans don't care about this. I don't know why I'm such a nerd. It's, to me, one of the most prestigious awards, and it means the most because the general managers, this is what they do. They generally manage. They run the team. It's a pretty important job.
Yeah.
The finalists have not been announced yet. So we put our heads together this morning and came up with the top 3 for our poll question for Capital Automall Universal Collision Center. Who should be the finalists for the NHL Coach of the Year, General Manager of the Year, the Jim Gregory Award? I think the way I worded it was who should win it, but the finalists that we came up with were Bill Zito of the Florida Panthers. He was a finalist last year.
Yep, he was.
And this year the Panthers won the President's Trophy for best regular season. So I think Bill Zito's an easy one, Florida Panthers. Number 2, I went with Brad Treliving. He was the second name to pop into my mind. Flames won a pennant in a season where not long after I frankly thought Treliving was going to be fired, and everybody there in Calgary. They end up winning the pennant. Yep. And what happened in the playoffs is another story. So Treliving, Zito, and the third was Joe Sakic of the Colorado Avalanche, which I'm certain he will be named a finalist tonight. Sudden death, Joe. And of our poll results, he's almost 70% of the respondents are voting for Joe Sakic of the Colorado Avalanche. But we've got 24 hours to vote on the poll. I would challenge the viewers to text in on the 902 line or in the chat and tell me 3 better than this. Well, I was considering putting Dubas in, wasn't I?
Yeah,
but
you were.
But I didn't.
They did have the best regular season in franchise history.
Leafs.
The Leafs did, so that's there. The Treliving story is interesting, and this might give people in Winnipeg a little bit of hope because you thought he was going to get fired, and he stuck with that core, tinkered a little bit around it, stuck with his coach, right, and with Darryl, and they ended up going on this run and finally gelled. With what Kevin Cheveldayoff's doing in Winnipeg, he's kind of sticking, I think, with his core, with his group, and going to bring in a new coach coming. And if they turn it around and have a really good year, he could be on course for being GM of the Year next year for sticking with his guys, right, and managing the team in the right way. But, I think you got the right 3 guys in there.
Randy from Winnipeg says Rob Blake, L.A. Kings, and that, sure. There's no real right or wrong answer on this, but I think, and by the way, so they announced the finalists tonight, and then they announced the award winner the night of round 1 of the draft, which will be on July 7th. Squirrel here. It's the same day as the NLL expansion draft for the Las Vegas Desert Dogs. Couldn't they consult? Really, round 1 NHL draft, NLL expansion draft. Can you guys get together?
Yeah.
I was worried I was having a heart attack this morning. Here in the casino, I said to Darren, I smell toast. It smells really good, or I'm about to die.
Oh, no.
And you didn't smell the toast.
I didn't. Now, you had wandered down to the coffee cart, right?
Yeah.
At the time. So perhaps the toast was being ate back there or whatever, but...
Smell toast. I still kind of do. So if I slump over, you're taking over. Living in a casino resort, it is as great as it sounds.
It is.
Our Stanley Cup and NHL coverage is brought to you by Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. To schedule maintenance or to learn more about our services, call 306-781-2090 or visit us at broncoplumbing.com. You might want to give that air conditioning unit a blast, a charge, or even a looking over. I can tell you right now, if you call this morning, Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling probably be out same day. We move on in the warm-up with point 4. The Edmonton Oil Kings and Shawinigan Cataract will begin play in the 102nd Memorial Cup tonight in St. John, New Brunswick. Last night, the host St. John Sea Dogs defeated the OHL champion Hamilton Bulldogs 5-3 in the tournament opener. Yes, it's blowing our minds. It started on a Monday. This is still a COVID thing. But I was in the clubhouse at Bears Paw yesterday. I got the TSN app on my phone going. I got the Sportsnet up on the TV. Bob's your uncle. It was a lot of fun. And St. John, for a host team, I don't know. For a host team, it was a hell of a start. I think I turned it on. It was 3-1, got to 4-1, maybe even 5-1 for the host St. John Sea Dogs. But I think Hamilton will come back. You didn't see any of it because you were on the golf course. Hamilton's goalie looked a little deflated. I think they got caught on their heels, obviously. They were in a 4-1 deficit. But TSN's got all the big shots there. Craig Button's there. Darren Dreger's there. They had Gerard Gallant on the broadcast, former St. John Sea Dog coach.
Yeah.
I just love me some Memmer.
It's so awesome.
Yeah.
It's so awesome. And to be there and to be around it. And I'm glad we're covering it every day and talking about it. And we'll be watching the games, of course. And no, it's great.
We'll handle the news here. Thanks. I see people writing in with news. And this is what we do. Quick 6 show topics here right now. Our junior hockey coverage is brought to you by Cavendish Farms, proud supporters of junior hockey in Canada. And I noticed their ads on the boards and on the ice. I love it. To point 5, Andrew Vaughn matched a career high with 4 hits, including a solo homer, and the Chicago White Sox celebrated an 8-7 victory over the Toronto Blue Jays Monday night. Luis Robert and Josh Harrison also homered as Chicago opened a 7-game homestand with their 5th win in 7 games. As for Toronto, they lost their 4th time in 5 games. Starter Jose Barrios was tagged for 6 runs and 9 hits in 4 innings. The Blue Jays 12 off the division lead, but Darren, they hold a wild card by a 1.5 lead, the Blue Jays. So I don't think we at any point get concerned until they slip out of a wild card spot. They own the number 1 wild card spot, as a matter of fact.
Yeah, I don't think we're concerned. The only concern is you got to find a way to beat the Yankees when that happens.
Yeah, not happening, probably.
No.
I don't know if that'll ever happen.
That's the reason you're 12 games back. It's just that's not how bad it's how good the Yankees are. And that's the only concern for me is during the season, you got to show us that you can beat the Yankees at least, a few times.
How did it come up last night at the table, at the supper? You guys were asking how long Aaron Judge has been in the majors with the New York Yankees. How did that even come up?
Channing, who was sitting next to me, was just telling a story about being in Toronto at a Jays game, and he's a Yankee fan. And then I was telling a story about Aaron Judge throwing a ball to Leanne when we were at a game in Toronto, and it hit her in the shoulder. So that's how Aaron Judge came up. I was trying to figure out how long he'd been in the league because we had seen him 4 years ago now.
Brian in Withrow, Alberta, has texted us an article, an interesting one for us hockey fans, about proposed realignment in the American Hockey League. With most people wouldn't really care about that, but what they're talking about, and if they're proposing it, usually it means they're going to it. You know what I mean? It's sort of like the CFL. Here's our proposed rule changes, and then they announce 9.
Yeah.
Right? They're talking about going to a 6-team all-Canadian division.
Oh.
With the Stockton Heat, the Flames team moving from California to Calgary here, and the Seattle team beginning play in Palm Springs, an all-Canadian division, which would consist of Abbotsford, Belleville, Calgary, Laval, Manitoba, and Toronto. No divisional U.S. road trips all winter for the Canadian division.
Really?
I'm out. And what's that? The Pacific Division. This is the best division in sport. Bakersfield, Coachella Valley, Henderson, Nevada, Ontario, California, San Diego, San Jose, and Tucson.
Beautiful.
Like you'd be breaking your ankle. You'd be breaking your ankle to get down into that division.
That's the dream.
Oh, I'm sorry. We're over time for a break. That is the dream division. So thank you, Brian, for sending that. An all-Canadian division proposed for the American Hockey League. When we come back, CFL announcing its top performers for Week 2 this morning. I want to talk about who is the best team in the CFL. Do we have an answer to that right now entering Week 3? And bad news for the Jolly Green Giants. Lots to get to. You're watching the RP Show on the Game Plus television network. We're live streaming on YouTube as well. And 24-hour sports radio streaming now at rodpeterson.com.
Have you subscribed to the Rod Peterson Show YouTube channel yet? Head to youtube.com/The Rod Peterson Show now.
Are you ready? It's finally time for your next adventure, and it starts at Capital Ford. Custom order the perfect new vehicle for you, or reserve one of the hundreds that's already built and on its way. Can't wait? Get into a pre-owned vehicle that's already on the lot and ready to rock. Plus, the American Export event is back and bigger than ever. We'll send your vehicle south, making you the most money for your trade. Guaranteed. Oh, and for a limited time, all name brand tires are employee priced. Only at Capital Ford Lincoln. Your adventure starts here. Universal Collision Center is Saskatchewan's premier auto body shop. Our extensive process ensures that every vehicle that comes through our state-of-the-art facilities is returned pre-accident condition, and that every UCC customer experience is an easy one. We're certified to repair all makes, all models, and all luxury brands, and Universal Auto Spa offers full-service detailing packages to suit you and your vehicle. Plus, we're the official body shop of your Saskatchewan Rough Riders. Universal Collision Center, 3910 Rochdale Boulevard and 2355 First Avenue in Regina.
Does this look familiar? Your fans deserve an incredible arena experience. It's time for an upgrade. Stunning graphics. Revenue opportunities are just the beginning with our in-venue display systems and technology. Let us help you find the best solution for your facility. DDG. Always delivering the best fan experience. Find us at ddgregina.com.
Calgary, Alberta, here they come. Welcome your Bull Riders! A legend throws 713 yards in a single pro football game.
A legend wins 3 Grey Cup MVP awards.
Allen looking deep.
A legend scores 1,209 points in 1,127 NHL games. Play among legends at BetRegal.net.
Here's how your business can be a part of Canada's fastest growing sports talk show. All you have to do is contact us, and we will tell you all about the dynamic and exciting marketing opportunities we have, utilizing a fully integrated 360-degree multi-platform. Imagine your business seen and heard across Canada on Game Plus TV and around the world on the Rod Peterson Digital Network. You will use one of the most overused expressions in sports. You gotta be kidding me. Get your business involved. Contact the Rod Peterson Show today.
Hey, honey, can you get one of the kids to show me how this Twitter thing works? Honey, I need to get on Instagram. Time for more of the Rod Pedersen Show.
Yeah, buddy. Broadcasting live from the Stage Bar here at Grey Eagle Resort and Casino, Calgary's entertainment destination. By the way, some of the shows coming up here this summer and fall. How about this? Between the event center, mostly in the event center, which is about 50 yards to my left. The Beach Boys, July 28th, my brother's birthday. Randy Hauser, July 29th. The Tea Party with special guest One Bad Son, August 3rd. Nazareth with special guest The Headpins, August 12th. Dancing Queen, a tribute to ABBA, August 13th. And then into the fall, Burton Cummings. Terry Fator, the winner of America's Got Talent, ventriloquist. Tracy Morgan and his No Disrespect Tour, the comedian. Bare Naked Ladies, August 20th. So check it out, Grey Eagle Resort and Casino.ca. The Moose is with me here at the Stage Bar. Thank you, guys. And I was going to say something, and I can't remember what it was. So should I move on? Yeah. Any topic of the previous five before we get to
I'm trying to think of what we were talking about before the break when we ran out of time. Squirrels. But no.
So bad.
We can go to the...
It's so bad. Can somebody rein us in?
Yeah.
Okay, moving on. It'll come to me right in the middle of this, probably.
Yeah.
Calgary Stampeders defensive back Titus Wall, Stampeders kicker Rennie Paredes, and Saskatchewan running back Jamal Morrow are the CFL's top players for Week 2 of the season. Wall had his first career interception and touchdown in the Stampeders' 33-30 win over Hamilton on Saturday. He also had 6 tackles in the victory. Paredes had 17 points in the win, including a 39-yard field goal to force overtime and then a 35-yarder to win it. And Jamal Morrow for Saskatchewan had 154 all-purpose yards and a rushing touchdown in the Riders' 26-16 win at Edmonton on Saturday. Now, congrats to those guys. This was the fun thing. When Alex Gauthier was with us on the show yesterday, the longtime CFL offensive tackle, I said, who's the best team in the CFL? And he goes, too early to say. And he's for sure right. But while you were golfing yesterday, I was driving around, I was listening to the radio, and there was a guy on there. And listen, say whatever you want. I'm going to say whatever I want. I don't expect people to agree with me all the time. And I didn't agree with him. And here's my point, Darren. He was saying what stuck out was the Toronto Argonauts are 1-0. They're the only winning team in the East, but they shouldn't be 1-0 because Montreal missed a field goal to win the game. They should be 0-1. And Montreal should be this. They're 0-2, but they should be at least 1-1. And I'm like, oh, dude. You do you. But two very, very famous guys had this phrase, Darren. Your record is what you are. I believe Bill Tuna Parcells said it first, and John Frenzy made it famous. Your record is what you are. So I don't, and I've never forgot that. Don't you agree with that? Don't talk about coulda, woulda, shoulda.
No, and that happens, right? I mean, there are situations where the best team doesn't always win. But over the course of a season, it usually balances out. So, yeah, there's some teams that, probably wish they would have be 1-0 or 2-0 or have a better record than they do. But if they're good enough, it'll balance out throughout the season. If they actually should have won, they'll be good enough to win enough games throughout the year. But too early to tell 2 weeks into the season.
Start spreading the news. We are live on YouTube talking CFL right now for all the CFL fans out there. We talk more CFL than any other talk show in the country. Book it. Arlen Bruce III, AB, watching from Edmonton, says, I believe the Owls will bounce back by week 7 and be in the top 3 power rankings. Kahari knows what he's doing, and the owner is a killer owner. Get it? Boy, AB, we got to get AB on again. He says, great show, RP. Thank you, Arland. So the owner of the Alouettes last week, Gary Stern, said that they're going to go into Toronto and kill the Argos. Define kill, Gary, because your kicker soiled himself with 11 seconds to go. Muffed it, as Jeff Reinbold said the next day here. Is it even too early 2 weeks in to say, your record is what you are? John Frenzy, it's the greatest. There's the meme for today, a photo of John Lynch. Your record is what you are. talk about? It was good enough talk radio fodder, believe me, as I'm driving on Sarcee Trail, turning onto the Banff Expressway. I'm enjoying it, but I'm like, I don't agree with you. And that's the whole idea of sports talk radio. I mean, here's another one. You know, the viewer David in Winnipeg yesterday. Bombers and Riders are 2-0, Rod, but what are you concerned about with them? Nothing. They're undefeated. Now, having said that, comes out yesterday, Saskatchewan center Dan Clark tweets that he's got a broken fibula. We were debating at the golf course yesterday how long he'd be out. I'm telling you, man, broken leg, especially for a 300-pounder like that, with all that weight on your broken leg, I got to think that's a season, don't you?
Yeah, the more I think about it, like it probably needs surgery, right, to repair it potentially, and that's tough, really, really tough. So yeah, he's probably out a significant amount of time. Be doubtful that he would return for the year.
Eric McLeod in the chat says the new owner of the BC Lions is marketing and branding the team nicely. He absolutely is. It's unfortunate they come off that huge win in week 1 and then they have a bye in week 2. If we had a 10th team, that wouldn't be a problem, but we're not going to get into that today. Tomorrow is when we really look ahead to the weekend of the upcoming week 3 games. And we have the poll, what is Canada's game of the week? But for the purposes of today, I'll tell you what's happening. Week 3 opens Thursday night, Saskatchewan at Montreal. A rematch of the 2009 Grey Cup and 2010. No odds have been posted here yet. Friday, it is Hamilton at Winnipeg. A rematch of the last 2 Grey Cups. And then another Saturday doubleheader, and we're going to be at it. Edmonton at Calgary. I can't wait, Chris Jones. We're going to do a little tailgating. What do you think?
I've heard the tailgate's legendary. I've seen it once. Really cool. So definitely something that's on my list while we're here.
Toronto at BC. We'll close it out. And we're going to get to BC for a game this summer. Book it. And I appreciate the viewers chiming in with their comments. I meant to get to this yesterday, and for whatever reason, I did not. So thank you. Well, a couple things. Ted in Red Deer says, has anyone started the bring back Brendan Labatt to replace Dan Clark call? I don't know. Big Blue hasn't played football in 2 going on 3 years. For a big lineman like that, I'd be shocked to see him come out of quasi-retirement to play. That's not to say he won't. I would just be surprised. But John Kirby in Edmonton says, and I want everybody's opinion on this. Should have done a poll. He says some Edmonton Elks fans are upset at Mark Corty for missing the Elks home opener to attend his own wedding. Some say let it go. You were following that on Saturday and on the weekend, obviously. Highest paid offensive lineman in the Canadian Football League missed his team's game because he was getting married. The reaction on this was more entertaining than anything. And 90% of what I saw came from former players, some coaches saying this is wrong. Now, 2006, my brother moved his wedding because I was supposed to be the MC and the Riders had a game out. And of course, you saw people saying on Twitter, how do you, Bucko, didn't he know the schedule? Well, clearly you haven't been married, and I have been multiple times. You need to book these facilities a year in advance. When they're booking a wedding venue, there's no CFL schedule out. So you see where I'm getting to, I think. I get that the old school people think it's wrong. I'll just go back. My family, sports family. My brother's wife's family, not sports family. So when that wedding thing came up and the Rider schedule came out, they're like, uh-oh, Riders have a game same day as the wedding. So my brother's wife's family goes, well, that's easy. Roddy misses the game. And my family's like, no. This is a radio guy. Not the offensive lineman, starting offensive lineman, highest paid offensive lineman. But I'm not saying that we did it right. That's what I put in my column on the weekend. I'm not sure that we did it right back in the day.
Yeah.
Listen, he's only going to be playing for a few more years. You got to stay married to her forever. What do you think?
How about that?
Yeah, at the end of the day, the wedding wins out.
Yeah, I'm on the players' side.
I'm on the players' side. The wedding wins out hands down. I'm with the fans, so I'm like, my first thought was, okay, when did you book this? Obviously, can it be moved by a day, right? What's available there? But, you know, when you're booking the Ritz or whatever, that books up 3 years in advance.
Exactly.
Right? So you have to commit to a day, you know, and they would know that if you're booking a June wedding that you're probably going to be football season, but that's what they wanted. And he probably would have went to the team and said, look, I've got this wedding. It's booked, right? Chances are, unless we're on a bye week or whatever, I'm out for a game. Are you guys cool with that? And they probably supported it. And, yeah, it sucks for the team because you lose your best offensive lineman in a tight game. And these wins are important. But, no, at the end of the day, the wedding wins out.
Maybe we got to put that to a poll tomorrow. Should Mark Corti have missed his team's game to get married? I'm on the player's side. You're on the player's side.
Yeah.
How about that? Now,
How
if I
about
was his
that?
coach, maybe I wouldn't be on his side. But from where I sit, I am.
Yeah.
Jennifer's watching at the Four Seasons. She says, wow, great fans there. You're not allowed to have a life. You think Rider fans would be any different? Please, fans are fans. Anyway, don't you think?
Well, and it's not a part-time gig. It's not just a job. Like, technically, it's a job. But it's not like you can call in sick on the weekend because you got plans or, you know, you're going to take a trip, vacation, and take a week off during the season. This is a special circumstance. The only one I would wonder, the only question I have is this wedding would have been booked before Chris Jones got hired, right? And so what happened when Chris Jones found out about the wedding in week 2 of the season? He's probably okay with it at the end of the day. I mean, there's not much you can do about it.
They were going to lose anyways.
Right?
Oh, no.
Well, now people just chiming in. They clearly they weren't watching earlier. Nyan watching on YouTube says, no, he shouldn't have scheduled a wedding on game day. The wedding would have been scheduled before the schedule came out.
Yeah.
Wiki. Eric McLeod in the chat, get married at the game. Halftime show wedding. Robin watching in Prince Albert. Honeymoon at the West Edmonton Mall, followed by a trip to the zoo. Like I say, they were going to lose anyways. She's happy. Everybody's happy. Moose, we will see you back here for hour 2.
You got it.
We're live from the Stage Bar. Our summer residency begins today on the first day of summer. Our NHL ambassador for BetRegal, our exclusive betting partner, Bernie Nicholls, joins us next to talk Stanley Cup playoffs. You're watching on the Game Plus television network. We're also live streaming on YouTube and 24-hour sports radio streaming now at rodpeterson.com.
Have you subscribed to the Rod Peterson Show YouTube channel yet? Head to youtube.com/The Rod Peterson Show now.
Every kitchen is a restaurant. Ish. With Cavendish Farms restaurant-style fries.
Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. Experts in all residential and commercial plumbing services and proudly serving Regina and area since 1978. Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. We'll treat you right.
Does this look familiar? Your fans deserve an incredible arena experience. It's time for an upgrade. Stunning graphics. Revenue opportunities are just the beginning with our in-venue display systems and scoring technology. Let us help you find the best solution for your facility. DDG, always delivering the best fan experience. Find us at ddgregina.com.
Are you ready? It's finally time for your next adventure, and it starts at Capital GMC. Custom order the perfect new vehicle for you, or reserve one of the hundreds that's already built and on its way. Can't wait? Get into a GM-certified pre-owned vehicle that's on our lot and ready to rock. Plus, the American Export event is back and bigger than ever. We'll send your vehicle south, making you the most money for your trade. Guaranteed. Oh, and for a limited time, all name brand tires are employee priced. Only at Capital GMC. Your adventure starts here.
Grey Eagle Resort and Casino.
throws 713 yards in a single pro football game.
A legend wins 3 Grey Cup MVP awards.
Allen looking deep.
A legend scores 1,209 points in 1,127 NHL games. Play among legends at BetRegal.net.
Is it time to take your event online? Bring it to IKS Live. We've got a fully customized virtual event platform with remote guest support for your next fundraiser, talk show, conference, performance, and more. IKS Live offers live streaming to Facebook Live and YouTube and pre-recorded capabilities, both in our studio with green screen available and on location with pre-production and post-production services. Visit us at ikslive.ca.
Here's how your business can be a part of Canada's fastest growing sports talk show. All you have to do is contact us, and we will tell you all about the dynamic and exciting marketing opportunities we have, utilizing a fully integrated 360-degree multi-platform. Imagine your business seen and heard across Canada on Game Plus TV and around the world on the Rod Pedersen Digital Network. You will use one of the most overused expressions in sports. You gotta be kidding me. Get your business involved. Contact the Rod Pedersen Show today.
Oh, yeah, he's back. Time for more of the Rod Pedersen Show.
Welcome back, everybody. We are live from Grey Eagle Resort and Casino, and it is National Indigenous Peoples Day. Please celebrate in however fashion you enjoy. The Tampa Bay Lightning are on the board in the Stanley Cup Finals. Steven Stamkos, Pat Maroon, and Andre Palat each had a goal and a helper in a 6-2 win over the Colorado Avalanche on Monday night. Avs now lead the series 2-1. Game 4 Wednesday night in Tampa. Our NHL ambassador for BetRegal, our exclusive betting partner, Bernie Nicholls, joins us as he does every week to talk Stanley Cup playoffs. And Bernie, welcome to the program. I'm wondering, you obviously watched the game, what changed when the series shifted to Florida?
Well, I think they obviously played better, and defending Stanley Cup champs, they've been there before. Toronto beat them, I think, 5-0 first game, and then 5-1 or something the third game. So, and just like the last series, they lost the first 2 games. They come back home, they kind of get the feel again, and I think obviously Colorado knew they were in a little bit of a different game last night. I think maybe it took a couple games to figure Colorado out, but as fast as Colorado is, they definitely handled them last night.
Well, after the 7-0 rout in Game 2, and Stamkos looked so deflated talking to the media, what did you think was going to happen when they went back to Florida? Did you think Tampa was going to come back in this fashion?
No, I did. Maybe not, 6-2, but it was never a 6-2 game, right? They're always closer than they are or they seem. But I mean, I really thought that Tampa would come back and win, and I still think they can win next game as well. Their goaltending is just too good, as you've seen last night. Now, who's going to play tomorrow night for Colorado, right? Like, they have 2 backup goalies as far as I'm concerned, and that could be a problem. So Vasilevsky played unbelievable last night, which we knew he was going to bounce back. So it's still going to be good. Colorado's fast, and they're probably the fastest team in the league, but if anybody can handle it, it's that big defense and goaltending of Tampa Bay.
Let me ask you this. I mean, I don't know how you are on the numbers. I read the NHL PR website every morning. Bernie, this is the highest scoring Stanley Cup Final in 40 years. Every game's had 7 goals or more. There were 8 last night. Why is that, do you think? Is it a goaltending issue, or is there something in the systems that's led to this?
Well, I really believe that the kids are so skilled now. It always was defense wins Stanley Cups. And by the time you get to the finals, normally it's 2 really good defensive teams with 2 good goaltenders. And, Tampa's goalie's played well, but, he struggled at times too. So,
No, we've all lost Bernie's audio there. Tell me, guys. So we lost your audio for a second there, but do we have him back?
We're just working on that, yeah.
Okay. We got you back, Bernie. I don't know what happened to your audio, if a text came in or something like that. But what do you expect in Game 4? Is this an adjustment thing? Like, I had somebody tell me coaching doesn't matter this late in the playoffs. The players will decide it. You know, what's going on between Games 3 and 4 with these teams?
Well, coaching always has an input. But, I mean, I've always said in the playoffs, home ice and coaching doesn't really mean a lot, right? Like, a lot of teams play better on the road than they do at home. There's no distractions. Coach is the coach. He knows what he has. The players know what they got to do, man per man. So if they do that, I still think Colorado can win the series, but until the defending champ gets beat. And I've always said, too, until you lose a home game, you're never in trouble. And I expect Tampa to win tonight or tomorrow, and then see if Colorado can hold home ice when they get back home.
Hey, I got a question for you. Our poll question today for Capital Auto Mall Universal Collision Center is, who should win GM of the Year in the NHL? The finalists for the Jim Gregory Award will be announced tonight, and I came up with these three. Brad Treliving of the Flames, Bill Zito of the Panthers, or Joe Sakic of the Avalanche, or other. And our voters are running away with Joe Sakic. But who do you think did the best job of being a GM in the NHL this year?
Well, I think the pieces that they put together in Colorado, and I'm a big Joe Sakic fan, so I'm going to go with the former player. So I would love to see Joe win it.
Interestingly enough, they didn't do the voting on this until 2 rounds in to the Stanley Cup playoffs, which I wish they would do for every award. You know, because I'll ask you this again. We are seeing that the playoffs are a different animal. Ask the Panthers, ask the Flames, ask the teams that aren't playing right now. Why is that, Bernie?
Well, because it is. At the end of the day, the regular season does not mean anything. I remember, when the Kings won the Cup, Vancouver was the President's Trophy winner, best team in the league. We went in there and beat them in 5. We just squeaked in 8th place. We get in and win it. The next year, when they win it in 14, they may have been 8th place again. I remember when Anaheim wins the Cup first time. San Jose Sharks was President's Trophy winner. They went in there and beat them, and they win the Cup. Like, Tampa Bay knows, and being around the Kings there after they'd won a couple Cups, the regular season's tough for these kids to play. You get in January, February, just the long days of winter, and it's really tough to play because they know nothing. These games don't mean anything. The playoffs are where everything is what you gear up to get to, right? And you want to be at your best when it comes playoff time. And whether you get in first place or 8th place, you still have to beat the best teams in the league. And I think Tampa's or Florida is going to see that. Like, they gunned up and they were first in that side, and you know, it didn't mean anything because Tampa went in there and kicked them. I don't like the setup how they have it though. It should be 1 versus 8. But I mean, players that have played a lot like Tampa, any team that's been in a lot of playoff games, they know the regular season's just try to get through it healthy, get ready for to play your best hockey in the springtime, and teams that do that are probably the most successful.
For sure. And that whole thing about having to lose before you learn how to win. We had the Colorado broadcaster on last week, and he said, don't think the Avs aren't motivated by blowing a 3-1 series lead to Vegas last year, right? And Tampa had their share of spring heartbreaks. I just got to ask you this, Bernie. You got your Kings hat on. You're a streaming television fan because you love Yellowstone. Have you watched Winning Time on HBO Max? You've watched it?
I have not. No, we've watched Justified and Ozark. So now we're looking for something else. So what is the one we want?
Winning Time. It is a 10-episode series on the rise of the LA Lakers. You were around.
Oh,
so,
yeah. Okay, yeah.
You got to watch it.
I want to see that. Okay.
It's on HBO Max, and you were there. You have, listen, you watch it, and then you come back here and report to me if it's accurate at all from what your perspective was.
Okay.
Must have been a wild time around there in the 80s, huh? In L.A.
Yeah, for sure. And I was lucky because the Lakers played their home games on Friday night. Kings played on Saturday. And I used to, on Friday nights, I'd go down the Forum. I could go anywhere I wanted to. They would set me out on the hallway, like where the team goes out to the court. I'd stand right there, almost courtside, and watch them play. It was unbelievable.
HBO Max, winning time. All right, Bernie, enjoy the hockey. We'll chat with you next week.
Okay, Rod. Nice talking to you.
The great Broadway Bernie Nicholls. Man, a big fan of that guy for a long time. By the way, he's the NHL ambassador at BetRegal. Use the promo code LEGENDS when you sign up and create an account at BetRegal, and you will get welcome dollars in your account. Again, the promo code is LEGENDS at BetRegal.ca. Viewer takeovers next for Taco Time. You're watching the RP Show live from Grey Eagle Resort and Casino on Game Plus Television, YouTube Live, and of course, you can always catch the podcast wherever the best podcasts are found, including Apple, Stitcher, and Spotify.
Have you subscribed to the Rod Pedersen Show YouTube channel yet? Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now.
Calgary, Alberta, here they come. Welcome your Bull Riders!
Some of the challenges we face with the CT technology that we have today is some of the deficiencies in around integration with some of our other systems. The addition of 2 new 4D simulators within the programming of the Saskatchewan Cancer Agency is going to have significant impact on the care we provide to the people of Saskatchewan.
Kitchen is a restaurant. Ish. With Cavendish Farms restaurant-style fries.
Are you ready? It's finally time for your next adventure, and it starts at Capital GMC. Custom order the perfect new vehicle for you, or reserve one of the hundreds that's already built and on its way. Can't wait? Get into a GM-certified pre-owned vehicle that's on our lot and ready to rock. Plus, the American Export event is back and bigger than ever. We'll send your vehicle south, making you the most money for your trade. Guaranteed. Oh, and for a limited time, all name brand tires are employee priced. Only at Capital GMC. Your adventure starts here.
Nestled in the scenic Qu'Appelle Valley, just 20 minutes northwest of Regina, is one of the finest golf courses in all of Saskatchewan, the Deer Valley Golf Club. The clubhouse has a full-service restaurant, and customers can enjoy a casual dining experience with spectacular views of the golf course and valley. A fully stocked golf shop, staffed by PGA of Canada professionals, is equipped to meet all of your golf apparel and equipment needs. Book your tee time, family event, or corporate tournament today at the Deer Valley Golf Club. Call 306-731-1445.
Are you ready? It's finally time for your next adventure, and it starts at Capital Ford. Custom order the perfect new vehicle for you, or reserve one of the hundreds that's already built and on its way. Can't wait? Get into a pre-owned vehicle that's already on the lot and ready to rock. Plus, the American Export event is back and bigger than ever. We'll send your vehicle south, making you the most money for your trade. Guaranteed. Oh, and for a limited time, all name brand tires are employee priced. Only at Capital Ford Lincoln. Your adventure starts here. Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. Experts in all residential and commercial plumbing services, and proudly serving Regina and area since 1978. Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. We'll treat you right.
Here's how your business can be a part of Canada's fastest growing sports talk show. All you have to do is contact us, and we will tell you all about the dynamic and exciting marketing opportunities we have, utilizing a fully integrated 360-degree multi-platform. Imagine your business seen and heard across Canada on Game Plus TV and around the world on the Rod Pedersen Digital Network. You will use one of the most overused expressions in sports. You gotta be kidding me. Get your business involved. Contact the Rod Pedersen Show today.
Laid back and kicking it, let's head back to the studio. Here's Rod.
It is the RP Show live from the Stage Bar at Grey Eagle Resort and Casino, and the public is indeed welcome to come on down. We're live daily, 10 a.m. Mountain to noon, right here at the Stage Bar. It is viewer takeover for Taco Time. It's also Taco Tuesday. $2 tacos all day long at the over 120 Taco Time locations across Canada. There's always one near you. Dougal Cameron writes in, he is watching on Game Plus TV in Calgary. He says, so, was there a Bo Levi sighting or meeting last night? Inquiring minds want to know. Dougal, we covered it way back at the start of the program and spent about 5 minutes on what happened last night at the golf tournament between Bo Levi Mitchell, the Calgary Stampeders quarterback, and me. We addressed it then. I'm not going to address it again. So you got to PVR this show. But we covered it right off the top. You knew we were going to cover it. Regarding Edmonton offensive lineman Mark Corte missing his team's game on Saturday to attend his wedding. And they're still talking about it up there in the City of Champions. Chris Tom is watching on Game Plus TV in Heidelberg, Ontario. And he says, with the CFL playing Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, he had a 75% chance his wedding would not be on a game day. Just saying, I'm on the player's side. And Chris Tom goes on to say, in 2005, I was the video coordinator for the Laurier Golden Hawks. I had to miss the Vanier Cup due to the Vanier being moved back to December 3rd that year due to my wedding being booked before. I say, do what's best for you. And Mark Corte did. I say, good for him. I'm sure he did have Chris Jones' blessing on it. A sports update on this Tuesday. Canadian Elite Basketball League, the Edmonton Stingers edged out the Montreal Alliance 64-60 Monday night in a tight defensive battle. The win snaps the Stingers' 3-game losing streak, while the defeat extends the Alliance's losing streak to 4. 2 games tonight in the league. Fraser Valley at Guelph and Niagara at Ottawa. You can watch on CBC Gem. After a 2-year absence due to COVID, the Memorial Cup wasted no time generating excitement in St. John, New Brunswick. The host Sea Dogs beat the Hamilton Bulldogs 5-3 Monday. Second game of the round robin goes tonight. The Edmonton Oil Kings up against the Shawinigan Cataract. 4 p.m. Mountain on TSN. Blue Jays have scored 22 runs in their past 5 games. That's the good news. Bad news is they've given up 43. That inability to shut down the rivals' offense is why the Jays are reeling of late. They've lost 4 of their last 5, including an 8-7 setback last night in Chicago as ace Jose Barrios surrendered 6 runs in just 4 innings. The Jays hope to right the ship tonight when they take on the White Sox again. Righty Kevin Gausman will pitch for the Jays. White Sox counter with righty Dylan Cease. Garrett Cole took a no-hit bid into the 8th inning. Aaron Hicks hit a tie-breaking triple in the 9th. And the New York Yankees beat the Tampa Bay Rays 4-2 Monday night for their 50th win of the season. Last minute of play in hour 1. Last minute. The Yankees' 50-17 start is the best in the majors since the 2001 Seattle Mariners. So it's like, why are we even talking about the Blue Jays? They probably don't even have a chance. Saskatchewan, Winnipeg, Calgary, and BC are the early favorites to extend their unbeaten streaks when the CFL kicks off Week 3 on Thursday night. The Rough Riders will be aiming to win 3 in a row when they tackle the winless Als in Montreal Thursday. The defending champion Blue Bombers looking to go to 3-0 when they host the winless Hamilton Tiger Cats Friday. This sports update for Ballers Rec Room, your official home of Slow Pitch, open Wednesday to Sunday. For the Tap Brewhouse and Drive-Thru Liquor Store, and for Red Bull Canada. Red Bull gives you wings. Julie Stewart-Binks from the NHL Network and the Moose coming up in hour 2 right after this break. Stick around.
Have you subscribed to the Rod Pedersen Show YouTube channel yet? Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now.
Nestled in the scenic Qu'Appelle Valley, just 20 minutes northwest of Regina, is one of the finest golf courses in all of Saskatchewan, the Deer Valley Golf Club. The clubhouse has a full-service restaurant, and customers can enjoy a casual dining experience with spectacular views of the golf course and valley. A fully stocked golf shop, staffed by PGA of Canada professionals, is equipped to meet all of your golf apparel and equipment needs. Book your tee time, family event, or corporate tournament today at the Deer Valley Golf Club. Call 306-731-1445.
Grey Eagle Resort and Casino.
Are you ready? It's finally time for your next adventure, and it starts at Capital GMC. Custom order the perfect new vehicle for you, or reserve one of the hundreds that's already built and on its way. Can't wait? Get into a GM certified pre-owned vehicle that's on our lot and ready to rock. Plus, the American Export event is back and bigger than ever. We'll send your vehicle south, making you the most money for your trade. Guaranteed. Oh, and for a limited time, all name brand tires are employee priced. Only at Capital GMC. Your adventure starts here.
Every kitchen is a restaurant. Ish. With Cavendish Farms restaurant-style fries.
A legend throws 713 yards in a single pro football game.
A legend wins 3 Grey Cup MVP awards.
Allen looking deep.
A legend scores 1,209 points in 1,127 NHL games. Play among legends at BetRegal.net.
People donate blood for moments like this.
But there are lots of reasons why Canada's Lifeline needs donors every day.
Like the fact that someone with leukemia can need up to 8 units of blood a week.
Or that donated blood lasts no longer than 42 days.
Or to help new moms and babies, like Henry.
There's lots of reasons to donate blood. That's why we need donors every day.
The need for blood is constant. Join Toyota and our Toyota dealers in supporting Canada's Lifeline.
Hey, Rod Squad, now you can join the team with your very own RP Show gear. Head to rodpetersenshop.com and get yours today while supplies last. It's just like we wear on the show, official RP Show gear at rodpetersenshop.com.
Business owners and marketers. Okay, we know you think we're pretty cool. That's why we want you to share in the coolness factor. Partner with the Rod Pedersen Show and market your business every weekday to sports lovers just like yourself. Take advantage of our many cost-effective commercial and promotional opportunities. Tell the world about your business. Yes, the world. Thanks to Game Plus TV and the Rod Pedersen Digital Network. Contact us today and find out how you can be a part of Canada's fastest-growing sports talk show, The Rod Pedersen Show.
If the Tampa Bay Lightning hope to three-peat as Stanley Cup champions, they'll have to become the first team in NHL history to overcome a 2-0 series deficit to win back-to-back best-of-7 series. Can the Lightning come back and make this a series? I voted yes, 63% saying no, the Lightning cannot come back.
This is the Rod Pedersen Show.
Hey, welcome to Hour 2, everybody. It is your favorite daytime sports and entertainment talk show. We're coming at you live from the Grey Eagle Resort and Casino, Calgary's entertainment destination on the beautiful Tsuut'ina Nation here in the gateway to the foothills on National Indigenous Peoples Day. And celebrations across the country in recognizing that very important day. Speaking of very important, we got the Moose, Darren DuPont, with us. You were saying you noticed it's bumping in here, Moose. It's bumping. Yeah. At the Grey Eagle.
It really is.
What makes you say that?
I don't know. I just got back to the stage bar and I look around. It's got a little vibe going on. It's picking up.
A palpable vibe.
People are winning. It's good.
That's what it. Oh man, we were so happy to Get back here, obviously, to Calgary's entertainment destination. First day of summer, and it's the first day of our summer residency here at Grey Eagle, and everybody at the front desk, welcome back. They've got signs. They put signs up around here for the show. It's not a small thing.
No.
It's exciting.
I will say I learned a hard lesson. I didn't tell you this.
Yeah.
I like to play the 25-cent poker.
You lost?
Before we play. No, I had $45 on my little ticket, right?
Yeah.
It expires after 30 days.
No.
So it's gone. So I got to start from scratch.
Start winning. By the way, I got to say this. We covered so much ground in hour one. If you're just tuning in, I really encourage you to go back. We talked about the Tampa Bay Lightning coming back to life and beating Colorado 6-2 in Game 3 of the Stanley Cup Final. Bernie Nicholls was with us, our NHL ambassador, with some great stories on that. By the way, did you watch the interview with Bernie, or were you on the phone?
I was on the phone.
He has not watched Winning Time.
Okay.
But he said that he was playing for the Kings at the same time that Lakers documentary was done. So he said he used to go to all the games and stand in the corner, courtside, and watch.
Really?
When the Lakers came. So I said, you go watch it, Bernie, and report back here next week on what you saw. So that's his task.
Okay, I like it.
Memorial Cup. St. John beating Hamilton last night in Game 1, 5-3. And St. John, the Blue Jays lost to the White Sox and all of that. But they're writing in and wanting to know about what went down between Bo Levi Mitchell and I last night at the golf tournament. And I'm not going to belabor that at all, because people want to talk actual sports, not some stupid spat between two children like me and the Calgary Stampeders quarterback. But I will say this, and I don't think you weren't around. There was a guy from a car dealership at the golf tournament yesterday. I don't want to name names until they come sponsor us.
And there was a lot of car dealerships there.
Right. So, there's a live studio audience here right now at the Grey Eagle at the Stage Bar. So the guy, he was blowing his mind. He's like, so you're doing your show at the casino on television, but people come and watch? Yeah, dude, every day, 10 a.m. to noon. He's like, well, no offense, but I just can't believe people would show up to watch a show. I said, no offense, we can't believe it either. But we're back. And now, the way this has all started, for those that have been watching this show since we started this way back in February, think about that.
Yeah.
When we started bringing the live guests down, like the Lanny McDonalds and the Theo Fleury's and Catriona LeMay-Dones and the John Huffnagels and the not Bo Levi Mitchells and the Dave Dickinsons and people here in Calgary and southern Alberta were calling the casino going, who's on Rod's show? Who's on Rod's show? They want to come down and watch.
Yeah.
I can't believe it either. But here we are. So, yeah. So it's great. So the other thing is we cover a lot of ground in hour one, and then we get into fun sort of stories in hour two and kind of what the viewers want to talk about. Yeah, here's an interesting one. Jeff, the Stampeders fan, says, today is the longest day of the year, unless you are the Elks. Their longest day will be Saturday. That from Jeff, the Stamps fan. There is news, by the way, out of the CFL Heartland. Dan Clark, broken leg. The veteran center, and I think broken leg, fibula. I think that's a season. I don't know that the team is saying that. But tomorrow is when we get into what's the game of the week in the CFL. We're not getting into that today. But have you been to a CFL game that does not involve the Saskatchewan Roughriders in your life?
Oh, good question. Yeah, Grey Cups.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fair.
Yeah.
How about a regular season
Edmonton,
game
Montreal?
That's not.
I don't think so. I think the game I saw here was a Rider game. I really think it was. Yeah. Regular season. No, I don't think I have.
Just Jeff, the Stamps fan, says, did you and Bo get into it? Again, go back and listen to the very, very start of the show. I don't want to spend the whole... This show deserves better than to talk about that petty little feud.
It was petty. Just in 30 seconds is all we get, because you got to go back to hour one even if you're on the podcast. But they kept a distance. They looked at each other. Nobody wanted to talk. When he couldn't defend himself, you got him on the mic. He didn't say anything bad, but he couldn't reply. But that's entertaining. So,
not to Bo. He literally turned as red as his helmet. I'm not joking. He doesn't like me very much. What did I do? They're all talking about winning time. And again, this is daytime sports and entertainment talk. So producer Clark has written in, he says, I can confirm winning time is pretty crazy. Just watched episode 1 last night. My cousin Christine in Medicine Hat says, is winning time on Netflix? No. I said HBO Max, but the viewers are correcting, saying in Canada, it's on Crave TV.
Yeah.
Again, the rise of the Los Angeles Lakers. And they should have called it the Jerry Buss story. That's what they should have, because that's what it's all about, is the owner of the LA Lakers.
Yeah, it really is. It's a little bit about Magic and Kareem, but mostly it's about Jerry Buss and buying that team and how he managed it and didn't have any money and, you know, fighting off the banks and partying and doing all the crazy things that he did. It is wild. It's a great show.
But true. From everything that I understand, it's a true story.
Yeah.
You said that you've learned some people are not happy with how they've been portrayed.
Yeah, and that's going to be the case no matter what, right? I mean, Magic, I think, and I don't really know what Magic's upset about, but he was smiling and laughing, and they overdo that because they want to highlight that this kid was, no matter what, was always in a great mood. And it almost comes off at times disrespectful, or that he doesn't really care about the team, but he does, you know.
Among other things they portrayed him as.
Yeah, so, you know, I'm sure some people were upset, but you got to understand this is TV, and based on a true story doesn't mean that everything in the show is true.
I guess that's the other thing that we do here in hour 2 is we bring in the viewers to throw every opinion on the table of what we've been talking about for the last hour. And one is the player for the Edmonton Elks, Mark Corte, an offensive lineman. I guess if he's the highest paid offensive lineman, that must mean he's the best player, and he missed Saturday's game for his own wedding. And he's been soundly criticized for that, and I get the sense that he doesn't care, and good on him. But Ted, watching in Red Deer, says, I don't think a player could miss a game if he wasn't a starter. A marginal player would be making a career choice. Sure, but we're not talking about marginal players. We're talking about the best player on the offensive line. He clearly knew he could do it, and he wouldn't get cut.
That's right.
Clearly.
He knew, and he would have had, it wouldn't be a surprise. Oh, by the way, guys, next Thursday I'm going to be gone. Like, that's not a thing.
They knew all along.
They knew all along. When they were booking the dates, he went to, Victor Cui and said, this is what's up.
Or Chris Jones.
But like I said in hour 1, I think this was booked probably before Chris Jones got hired. It's probably booked 18 months in advance.
Yeah.
Right? So
depending where the wedding was.
Yeah, depending on what
I could just see Jones now. Coach, I got to miss Saturday's game because I'm getting it. You got to do what now? What'd you say? You got to do what?
Well, it would have been in practice, and Jones would have been going through putting the starters up on the board, and he'd be, Coach, you know I'm gone Saturday, right? Nobody told you?
Oh, no.
What?
I guess strike off Chris Jones +1. He's not coming.
Yeah.
From Nelson. Will I be invited to Bo Levi's wedding? Oh, he's been married already. From Nelson Hackowich, our VP of Sim Events. Saw the Alouettes play the Argos at Rogers Place. You could hear a pin drop. That's my question. Have you seen any CFL teams play that aren't your team? And to be honest, I don't think Grey Cups count because Grey Cups are Grey Cups. And I'll say this, with all due respect for the Canadian Football League, of which we have a ton, every NFL game, everyone is a Grey Cup. And that dawned on me in Tampa Bay in 2013 when I was hosting a sports trip down there. It was the Bucks and the Bills. Like, who cares? The Bucks sucked then. They got parades around the stadium. They got helicopters. They got parachuters. They got bands playing outside the stadium. What the heck? It was when I first started getting introduced to the NFL. And for as far as the CFL goes, I don't know. The people are talking about the attendance. We haven't talked a whole lot about that. I mean, the one thing you keep hearing, well, that costs money, Rod. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So buzz is cheap. You know, the feud between Bo Levi and I didn't cost a thing. And it didn't even cost me seconds of lost sleep, believe me. That's what sells tickets, man.
Yeah. When you can create a buzz and give people a reason to get out of bed. But, hey, I got it. I made a mistake. I have seen two teams play that aren't the Riders, and you were there. Winnipeg and Toronto.
Right.
In Winnipeg.
Clearly wasn't that memorable for you. We left at halftime. We had fudge to eat.
That's right.
Birthday.
Epic.
It's 11:11 Mountain.
That's what we're talking about. Perfect.
Did they play it?
I don't know.
Why can't I hear this? I can't hear the sound effects.
Yeah, we can't hear them.
Interestingly enough, and again, I'm trying to keep my finger on all the pulse of all the news. Oh, John Kirby's like our Edmonton consultant or correspondent.
Correspondent, yeah.
He says the wedding was booked before the player was signed with the Edmonton Elks. That's what Chris Jones said in the interview. I can't speak for Chris Jones, and I won't. But you would think he's probably in the back of his mind going, well, you did sign after, so can you move the wedding or can you? You know what I mean?
And I'm sure that Mark would have looked at that, looked at options to move it. And the venue, probably a high-end venue, came back and said, yeah, we got an opening 2 Thursdays from now in 2025. Does that work?
Mm-hmm.
And the missus-to-be was probably...
Well, yeah. No. Ryan McCarthy, watching in Saratoga, New York, says, if this time off was requested well ahead of time, what's the issue? It's like any of us asking our employer for time off. Really, Ryan? 30,000 people show up to watch you at work? You're the highest paid guy in your field and looked upon as a leader in your position area of where you work? I'm just playing devil's advocate here because I put it in my column on Sunday, do what's best for you. You need to sit back and say, what's best for me? Because a lot of things would have changed in my life if I had actually, probably everything would have changed in my life if I'd gone back years ago and done that. I'm doing it now, and a lot of people don't like it. And a lot of people don't like what Mark Cordy did. He did what was best for him.
Yeah.
But that's the thing. Forget about what CFL players get paid. Forget about it. I think we'd all like to. NFL players, or even baseball players, because they're not getting their brains bashed in on every play. What's the average Major League Baseball salary? We want to say $2 million? Let's just say it. I don't know, but I'll say. People say, why do these guys make that amount of money? We got doctors out here saving lives. We got people scrubbing toilets, doing stuff that nobody wants to do. And you're playing a game? One of the major differences is, again, 30,000 people don't show up to watch the doctor do brain surgery. That's not right. It's the way that it is.
It's business.
Yeah, you got to accept that.
Like, I can sit on my computer in my pajamas watching TV all day long, and if I'm a great, investor in the stock market and crypto, I can make millions of dollars a year. I'm not doing anything crazy, right?
Well, for sure. Working smart,
but it's business. It's, how much money are you making the company? What do you, what's your value? Yeah, it's simple. I don't have any issues with any of that.
In the vehicle, where's the cowbell? Or do we have to go get one?
We might have to get one.
I thought I heard it the other day driving around.
It might be in there. There's a lot of stuff in that car.
I don't have the breaking news bell, but Robin and Prince Albert, or somebody pointing out that they have, and I got the notification here from TSN, Edmonton officially signs head coach to 3-year deal through 24-25. And what's just really interesting about that is his career trajectory. Didn't we talk about this the other day on the show, Jay Woodcroft? Was it even yesterday? The guy started, I think it was last week. He's from Toronto, this coach of the Oilers, that nobody could even remember his name.
Right.
A month after he got called up by Edmonton, played Junior A in the Toronto area, and then goes to the NCAA, University of Alabama, Birmingham, that noted hockey powerhouse in Alabama, and then gets his first job in San Jose as a video coach, and then he slowly worked his way up and up and up. And the reason I respect the hell out of that, he's not somebody's kid, near as I can see. You know what I mean? A friend of the owner.
Yeah.
There's just something about Jay Woodcroft that clearly people relate to him. Obviously, he knows the game, but a lot of us know the game. But he worked his way up, man, from junior A. It's a hell of a story.
Yeah.
I don't disagree with him getting a 3-year extension. Do you?
No.
Yeah.
He took this team that was a good team on paper and turned it around. So he proved that he knows how to communicate and manage the bench with the stars that he has, right? And the run they had in the playoffs was tremendous. You have to give him an opportunity to see this to the next level. He's now been the guy who got you that far, right? And failed. He now might know what needs to be tweaked to get it a step further and get into a Stanley Cup. So, no, I think this is a great move. I love it from Edmonton. And clearly the organization's on board and the players are on board, because I'm sure there would have been conversations with Connor and Leon and Duncan Keith and some of the other leaders on that team to be like, hey, Darnell Nurse, and is this guy a guy that you want to play for long term? And the answer is obviously yes.
We have breaking news. Ring-a-ding-a-ding. The 2022 Canadian Football Hall of Fame induction class has been announced. It's headlined by Ricky Ray, Chip Cox, Dave Ritchie, Roy Shivers, and Paul McCallum.
How about that?
We got that to kick around, and tonight's Sports Scad will go over last night's again when we come back. We're broadcasting live from the Stage Bar on the first day of summer in our latest residency at Grey Eagle Resort and Casino. You're watching on Game Plus TV, live streaming on YouTube, and 24-hour sports radio streaming now at rodpeterson.com.
Have you subscribed to the Rod Peterson Show YouTube channel yet? Head to youtube.com/The Rod Peterson Show now.
Smoky in the air, that's a lot of fun. Big time, big time, big time, big time.
A legend throws 713 yards in a single pro football game.
A legend wins 3 Grey Cup MVP awards.
Allen looking deep.
A legend scores 1,209 points in 1,127 NHL games. Play among legends at BetRegal.net.
People donate blood for moments like this.
But there are lots of reasons why Canada's Lifeline needs donors every day.
Like the fact that someone with leukemia can need up to 8 units of blood a week.
Or that donated blood lasts no longer than 42 days.
Or to help new moms and babies, like Henry.
There's lots of reasons to donate blood. That's why we need donors every day.
The need for blood is constant. Join Toyota and our Toyota dealers in supporting Canada's Lifeline.
Universal Collision Center is Saskatchewan's premier auto body shop. Our extensive process ensures that every vehicle that comes through our state-of-the-art facilities is returned pre-accident condition, and that every UCC customer experience is an easy one. We're certified to repair all makes, all models, and all luxury brands, and Universal Auto Spa offers full-service detailing packages to suit you and your vehicle. Plus, we're the official body shop of your Saskatchewan Rough Riders. Universal Collision Center, 3910 Rochdale Boulevard and 2355 First Avenue in Regina. Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. Experts in all residential and commercial plumbing services, and proudly serving Regina and area since 1978. Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. We'll treat you right.
Every kitchen is a restaurant. Ish. With Cavendish Farms restaurant-style fries.
Calgary, Alberta, here they come. Welcome your Bull Riders!
Here's how your business can be a part of Canada's fastest growing sports talk show. All you have to do is contact us, and we will tell you all about the dynamic and exciting marketing opportunities we have, utilizing a fully integrated 360-degree multi-platform. Imagine your business seen and heard across Canada on Game Plus TV and around the world on the Rod Pedersen Digital Network. You will use one of the most overused expressions in sports. You gotta be kidding me. Get your business involved. Contact the Rod Pedersen Show today.
Did you know you can catch all the best moments from the show on all our social media platforms? Now, back to the studio with Rod.
And the studio happens to be Grey Eagle Resort and Casino Stage Bar. It is a live studio audience here, and we're loving it at Calgary's entertainment destination. By the way, acts the rest of this summer and fall here at Grey Eagle. The Beach Boys coming July 28th, Randy Houser July 29th. August 3rd, the Tea Party with One Bad Son. Nazareth with special guests, the Headpins, August 12th. Bare Naked Ladies, August 20th. Terry Fader. I've seen him in Vegas, September 16th. He's a ventriloquist guy. Tracy Morgan's No Disrespect Tour, September 29th. You can get your tickets at GreyEagleResortandCasino.ca or Ticketmaster. The Moose is with us here. It's hour 2. On the way, Julie Stewart-Binks will be joining us from the NHL Awards in Tampa Bay tonight. That's going to be fantastic. But, again, we got to go get a bell today, Moose. Where in Calgary could we get a cowbell, do you think? Any suggestions?
Yeah, there's got to be a few. There's got to be a Lamley's or...
Do you have a cowbell there?
I don't know. Cowtown?
In Florida, I go to the Hobby Lobby, but we don't have one here, so we got to find a cowbell, all right? Ringing. The Oilers, as we mentioned, have signed Jay Woodcroft to a 3-year contract extension. I've got the news story here. The Oilers named Woodcroft as the team's interim head coach February 10th after Dave Tippett was fired. The Oilers underwent a rapid turnaround under the 45-year-old Toronto native. He looks younger than that.
Doesn't he?
Must be his full head of hair.
I know.
They went 22-8 into the playoffs. Over their final 38 games under Woodcroft, 26-9-3, their second best record in the NHL. Second place, they finished in the Pacific. And we all know that they beat the Kings in 7 in round 1, the Flames in 5 in round 2, and then swept by Colorado in the Western Final. Woodcroft had been the head coach of the Oilers' American League affiliate, the Bakersfield Condors, since 2018. Before that, he was an assistant coach with the Oilers for 3 seasons and the San Jose Sharks for 7. Spent 3 seasons as member of the Detroit Red Wings coaching staff, winning a Stanley Cup in 2008. But what's got everybody perked up today, I think, and listen, I love the Hall of Fame debate. You can put that on my epitaph when I die. The tombstone that'll be as high as the Calgary Tower. I love the Hall of Fame debate. Don't talk to me about drafts. I don't care about drafts. I don't. NBA drafts Thursday. I couldn't tell you one kid. Could you?
I know. No.
Not since Zion Williamson did I even have a clue what's going on. I don't care about drafts, but Hall of Fames, I'm here for, as are you.
Yeah.
Who doesn't love that debate?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
So I'm reading from the Canadian Press story. I haven't seen the CFL news release yet, but former CFL stars Ricky Ray and Chip Cox were named this morning for induction into the Canadian Football Hall of Fame. In their first years of eligibility, Ricky Ray won a record 4 Grey Cups as a CFL starting quarterback with both Edmonton and Toronto. Chip Cox claimed 2 league titles as a defensive back / linebacker with the Alouettes. He spent his entire 13-year pro career there. Also named in the player category were kicker Paul McCallum. And I feel like we got to sit back and talk about that, if he's a Hall of Famer or not. Fullback Tim Tyndale, who, I'm sorry, I've been around the CFL a long time. I'm like, are you sure you don't mean Tim Tisdale? And Dick Thornton, who played on both sides of the ball. And then on the Builders side, former CFL head coach Dave Ritchie. Remember him? He's a warrior. Long-time team executive Roy Shimmers. And Keith Evans, the Calgary Colts founder and former GM, were selected as builders. The 2022 class will be inducted September 16th at Tim Hortons Field in Hamilton. They're going to induct two Hall of Fame games in 1 year. Okay. This sports update for dubnetwork.ca and for Ben Cahoon's G2G protein bars. Now, the thing with McCallum, it's been a long-time friend of mine, but I've often said, I just believe that you have to win 2 Grey Cups to get into the Hall of Fame. I don't know. I want to know everybody else's thoughts on that.
As a kicker, I would think not. I wouldn't hold the Grey Cups as highly valued, I think, for a kicker. My first thought was because you don't have as much impact on the game, but you do. You have a huge impact on the game, right? But you can only kick the field goals that you're given the opportunity to kick. He showed the huge leg.
62-yard field goal, I called it.
62 yards. I don't know what his overall career percentage ended up being, but it was fairly high for a long time, right?
I'm sure it's in the news release.
And he'll be there among the all-time leaders in points, probably. Kickers usually are. All-time scoring leaders in the Canadian Football League. So for those reasons, he's in the conversation for sure. And played for a long time. A lot of longevity in the league, too, which sometimes wins out when you play for a while.
Fair. Oh, and by the way, going into the media wing, Glenn Suter and Ed Willis. And I don't know if you know or even know of Ed, but he wrote the book End Zone.
Yeah.
End Zones and Border Wars, the story of the CFL's American expansion. I told you about, he said Jonathan Jennings compared him to Bruce Springsteen. I've seen the future. His name's John Jennings. Oops. It is here. I have the news release. I will say this. This is the thing with being on live television. My mind's racing. I'm trying to get my lips to catch up to where my mind's going here.
Yeah.
Because for the Rough Rider fans that are watching right now, they will know the Paul McCallum, not his legacy, but for sure not his legacy is this. It's a Hall of Fame induction. But the 2004 CFL West Final, Vancouver, I was there. I called it. He missed what was, I believe, an 18-yard field goal. A chip shot. Missed it. Lost the game. I think he spent one more season with us and then went to BC and won a Grey Cup in 2006.
Yeah.
Like a lot of my friendships, Paul and I have had a off and on friendship over the years. I'd like to think that we're friends. I remember one night after that. Yeah, sure, he stayed another year. I remember one night being in the Pump Country nightclub. Did you ever pump it up back in the day?
Yeah, I did.
I was with McCallum, and a guy came up. Paul was holding a fishbowl, sucking on his straw. Some guy came up and spat in his face, a Rider fan, for missing that kick. That's what it's like. That's what it can be like when times aren't good. Alex Gauthier brought that up yesterday, 2011, when he was with the Rough Riders. It was a terrible year. We started 1-7. He's like, whoa, it was rough. It can be very rough.
Can you imagine somebody in your office spitting at you in the face because you photocopied the wrong piece of paper?
That's what... Anybody who thinks this is comparable to your job, it is not comparable to your job. So it's just not. Any of it. Jeff Cabillas in Winnipeg says, Guy Fieri is so excited to be on the RP show that he can't stop pouring his drink. What did Jordan think? That was water or something? Or
milk.
Director Jordan thought it was milk that Guy Fieri was pouring. That's tequila.
Actually, he thought it was Dave Patrician pouring milk. The sports
he thought
doctor.
It was the sports doctor from Winnipeg. Jason in Red Deer says, I was hoping Chris Schultz would have went into the media wing. Would have been a great tribute. Or did he already? No, he didn't. I'm sure at some point he will. It's very interesting, extremely interesting, how these Hall of Fames work now as opposed to how they used to. From Jack Fulton in Vulcan, Alberta, he says, Rennie Paredes will be a first ballot Hall of Fame inductee. There's no doubt. And, and that's the other thing that the viewers don't know. Jeff, a Stamps fan, clearly does. But he says, Manure Monday. I was with McCallum at the departure gate as we were leaving Vancouver after he missed that field goal, and his home was being vandalized, terrorized by Rider fans. I was sitting right beside him. His mom came to the airport. She knew what was going on back in at his home. Paul didn't. It was 2004. We didn't all have cell phones.
Right. No, we didn't.
And it was a traumatic time for him. And to be honest, I don't know how he could have stayed for the 2005 season. He did. Good on him. But he wanted to stay and face the music, but it was traumatic for him and his family. Where was I going with this?
How could it not be? That's insane that he went through that, and good on him for going through it. And he got rewarded because he got his Grey Cup and, went on to do some really great things in BC and around the league. But yeah, that's the one unthinkable. You would, that fans would do that, but they did.
I guess that's something, some night or day, you and I will have to do our traditional driving laps around Calgary like we do on the Stony Trail.
Yeah.
And just think of the notes that I'm going to put in my book, because I haven't even thought about the McCallum thing for years. Jack says, wasn't that when some Sask fan dumped a load of manure on Paul's front step? Yes, but to be honest with you, they got it the wrong house. They put it on the neighbor's lawn, which was kind of ironic when you think about it, that it was a miss.
They missed. Yeah.
Right. But just some losers ruin it for everybody, like everything in life. But I remember the following Monday night on my radio talk show, Paul came on the air and broke down, crying, thanking the people of the province for supporting him in this moment. So that, I don't know if he could have taken a positive out of that or not. But I think that the one thing, I told you my mind's racing here. Paul's mom was there at the airport with us, and she knew what was going on, but they were trying to protect Paul from knowing, because could you imagine if your house was being terrorized, which literally, I think somebody had lit a fire. It was really bad. Imagine being a 2-hour flight away from your home and your wife and kids are being terrorized like that. You'd go out of your mind.
You would.
So we were all trying to just protect him. Oh, man, it was terrible. Jack, the Stamps fan, says, or Jack in Vulcan, Alberta, says, I remember Hank decided to leave Sask because of that also. No. You got a little backwards there. Henry left Saskatchewan because of Roy Shivas. It was after Henry left that all that stuff happened. Henry was beloved by everybody except his own general manager. This is brutal. Jennifer from the Four Seasons says, I couldn't be more embarrassed being a Rider fan when that happened. It was 2004 because I was going to the Grey Cup in Ottawa a week later for the Grey Cup. And I remember at the airport, they're going through my bag. It had a Rider logo on it. And they're like, oh, you're from Saskatchewan. You got any manure in here? That's what the people at the airport said. National news again. Anyways, one last thing. So we're going to go to a movie tonight.
Yes.
Speaking of being traumatized, just to bring this out of the ditch, the movie Maverick, I think we're going to go to the movie Maverick, but I said, you went and watched Top Gun?
I watched it, the original.
The original?
The original, yeah.
Kenny Loggins, man. Danger Zone. That's cool.
That's cool.
But I'm traumatized. I went to Top Gun. I was in about grade 9. I went with my church youth group, and one of the grade 12 girls put her hand on my leg in the theater. I was a late bloomer, okay?
In the church group.
Freaked me out. Right?
Hot.
Yet in the theater, but I'm like, oh boy. So when this movie came out, I was like, immediately went back to 1988.
We'll put
or whatever it was.
We'll put a seat between us, and I won't put my hand on your lap, okay?
So
I won't.
Promise?
I promise.
All right. Julie Stewart-Binks joins us from the NHL Awards next. Moose, see you in overtime.
See ya.
You're watching the RP Show on the Game Plus Television Network, YouTube Live, and 24-hour sports radio at rodpeterson.com.
Have you subscribed to the Rod Peterson Show YouTube channel yet? Head to youtube.com/The Rod Peterson Show now.
Universal Collision Center is Saskatchewan's premier auto body shop. Our extensive process ensures that every vehicle that comes through our state-of-the-art facilities is returned pre-accident condition, and that every UCC customer experience is an easy one. We're certified to repair all makes, all models, and all luxury brands, and Universal Auto Spa offers full-service detailing packages to suit you and your vehicle. Plus, we're the official body shop of your Saskatchewan Rough Riders. Universal Collision Center, 3910 Rochdale Boulevard and 2355 First Avenue in Regina.
Is it time to take your event online? Bring it to IKS Live. We've got a fully customized virtual event platform with remote guest support for your next fundraiser, talk show, conference, performance, and more. IKS Live offers live streaming to Facebook Live and YouTube and pre-recorded capabilities, both in our studio with green screen available and on location with pre-production and post-production services. Visit us at ikslive.ca.
Does this look familiar? Your fans deserve an incredible arena experience. It's time for an upgrade. Stunning graphics. Revenue opportunities are just the beginning with our in-venue display systems and scoring technology. Let us help you find the best solution for your facility. DDG, always delivering the best fan experience. Find us at ddgregina.com.
Every kitchen is a restaurant. Ish. With Cavendish Farms restaurant-style fries.
Are you ready? It's finally time for your next adventure, and it starts at Capital Ford. Custom order the perfect new vehicle for you, or reserve one of the hundreds that's already built and on its way. Can't wait? Get into a pre-owned vehicle that's already on the lot and ready to rock. Plus, the American Export event is back and bigger than ever. We'll send your vehicle south, making you the most money for your trade. Guaranteed. Oh, and for a limited time, all name brand tires are employee priced. Only at Capital Ford Lincoln. Your adventure starts here. Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. Experts in all residential and commercial plumbing services and proudly serving Regina and area since 1978. Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. We'll treat you right.
Number 16. A legend throws 713 yards in a single pro football game.
A legend wins 3 Grey Cup MVP awards.
Allen looking deep.
A legend scores 1,209 points in 1,127 NHL games. Play among legends at BetRegal.net.
Here's how your business can be a part of Canada's fastest growing sports talk show. All you have to do is contact us, and we will tell you all about the dynamic and exciting marketing opportunities we have, utilizing a fully integrated 360-degree multi-platform. Imagine your business seen and heard across Canada on Game Plus TV and around the world on the Rod Pedersen Digital Network. You will use one of the most overused expressions in sports. You gotta be kidding me. Get your business involved. Contact the Rod Pedersen Show today.
Send us your opinions now. We won't victimize you unless you really deserve it. Now, back to your host, Rod Pedersen.
Welcome back to the RP Show, everybody. It is Taco Tuesday. As you know, Canadians love local. Go local, eat local. Taco Time uses fresh ingredients sourced in Canada. Our beef, chicken, cheddar, cheese, sour cream, and Mexi fries are all made in Canada. $2 tacos all day and night at Taco Time. All right, we're very excited for Julie Stewart-Binks and the finalists and award winners tonight. It's the NHL Awards in Tampa Bay. JSB joins us from the NHL Network tonight. Julie, thank you for the time. I know it's been a very busy day. How's Tampa?
Oh, Rod, first of all, thanks so much for having me on. It's always a pleasure to chat with you and to come on your show. And it has been wonderful being in Tampa. Like, it is kind of a full circle weird moment for me because for those who know me, I was covering the first round Leafs Bolts and I got COVID and I wasn't able to finish covering that. And then now I'm back here covering the Stanley Cup Final for the NHL. And I kind of feel like it's either been 100 years or like 1 hour. I don't even know anymore. But Tampa is, it's hot, obviously, but so is Denver. but everyone is, I feel like always the vibe with the fans here is like they're just happy. They're always having a good time. It's almost like you're like happy place. And I mean, if you've won 2 cups back to back, like that would be, of course, the reason why. But it's always a good time here, and people are always just so friendly. It's almost like it's very Canadian in a way, but I think that's because of the success of the team. Like I don't know if that's what it's always been like here. But yeah, it's great, and we have the NHL awards tonight, which is going to be different, and it's exciting to kind of just to have everyone back together again.
Well, Julie, yeah, I'm excited for you. I mean, honestly, I'm going back and forth between Canada and the U.S. I'm trying to keep it all straight. TNT, NHL, TBS. You were on NHL on TBS in round 1, were you not? What did I see you on doing interviews?
Yes, that was it. Yeah, I did. I was fortunate enough to get the rinkside role doing the Leafs and Tampa Bay Lightning for the first round. And when I got offered the job, which was sort of like the week before the playoffs, I said, like, do they know I'm from Toronto? Because that might influence them putting me on this series. I'm not a homer. I can be a journalist. I've covered hockey for the last 12 years, but they said, they want people that understood kind of like the pulse of the city, and seeing Nabil Kareem cover the Raptors against the Sixers in the first round for TNT, I totally understood that vibe because, having someone come in and try to explain to an American crowd what's going on in Toronto, why they've had sort of like the playoff demons, all this kind of stuff feels more authentic coming from someone who has really seen it firsthand. And so it was a dream job. It was so exciting. It was fun. I got to work with some of the legends of Eddie Olczyk to Keith Jones, John Forsland, Brendan Burke, like a lot of these guys that maybe people in Canada might not have worked with before. Jen Botterill or seen on TV, but they're huge now. TNT has just taken the NHL by storm, and ESPN as well. So it was a dream job, and I was very, 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 very safe over COVID. And you know what? It just got me at the worst possible time. And I watched the rest of the series from a hotel room in Toronto. So I can't complain, and I was okay. But did that, came home to New York, and then worked on my show. I also have my show Drinks with Binks on Fubo TV, and I've been doing it all women in hockey, which has been really great to support and promote different voices across the game that might not normally have the spotlight. And I really like that. And then now to also still be doing that, and now here at the NHL has been really just a dream. I'm just pumped to be back into hockey. And I will have to say, to get the Sasky connection back there, I interviewed Braden Point the other day in the Mediaville, like just the fun media day. The fun, I mean, it's not really that fun for anyone, I guess, like the players, but the media availability. And I told him that I was at his first skate in Moose Jaw when he was 15. And that made me feel like super old when I said that. But I got him to give, actually I got to send it to the Warriors, but I got him to give a shout out to Moose Jaw and the Warriors.
Oh, man, they love him here, but it's a fight because I'm in Calgary, and there's a jersey of him up in this childhood arena, as you can well imagine, the Flames Community Arena. It's too bad that he's not able to play. I got to ask you about the awards tonight. As much as you know, Julie, why is it not in Vegas? Why did they move it to Tampa for tonight?
I guess that's a question probably for the NHL. I don't know exactly. I think it was, what I was reading was they wanted it to be kind of more of like a community vibe feel. They were going to do it on the East Coast anyway, but like a lot of the presenters are people that have been influenced or have influenced the hockey community in various different ways this year. Not celebrities, but people who have heartwarming stories, who have gone through like a whole lot, or have, been doing some incredible work for the game. They're not, as I said, they're not stars, but they're people that have, it's very grassroots. And I think it's like very feel good in that regard. And I think especially after like the 2 years we've had to kind of go back to, it being this glitz and glam and kind of like overdone just doesn't feel right, because we're still dealing with a lot of stuff. People have dealt with a lot of loss too as well. So it kind of feels nice. It's like, I was just at the venue earlier this morning. There's tables set up. It actually feels like a wedding. And I explained this, in Canada, you MC weddings. In the States, you don't MC a wedding. That's a DJ's job. So I was like, oh, wow, I feel like I'm going to MC this wedding. And people were kind of like, what are you talking about? Why would you MC a wedding? But it looks like that vibe of, there's no dance floor, sadly. That's one oversight I think we should have at this NHL Awards. But it has like kind of a nice dinner, Golden Globes feel to it.
Well, as you can imagine, who knows how the night's going to go. Maybe they will bust out a dance floor by the time this thing is done. And speaking of a party, with Tampa winning 6-2, what's that done to the town that the Lightning have a chance now to make this a real series?
I think it's just given everyone sort of like that shot of adrenaline that everyone needed in this series, like from the players, the team, to the media, to the fans, of like seeing them getting steamrolled 7-0 the other day in game 2 was like a shocker, I think, for everyone. And whether or not you thought Colorado was going to win this series, I don't think it's like both games were just so different. You have like an overtime game where Tampa comes back, and then you have an absolute blowout. And so that's why I felt game 3, which I picked correctly, thankfully, because on the show I do, Stanley Cup Live, Jackie Redmond, host of NHL Now, we wear shirts if we like get it wrong. Like I was wrong if we picked the wrong thing. We both were wrong because we picked Tampa in game 2. And I just thought, like, man, I just don't see them like bowing out this easy. Like even in the first round, covering it and seeing John Cooper and talking with him, it just feels as though they're just like that team that can figure out a way to get it done. And actually talking with Ron McLean, just to, name drop right there, he said he likens John Cooper to Dwight McMillan from the Weyburn Red Wings, of how it would take him 2 games to figure out an opponent. He said John Cooper's a lot like that, where, because you notice it in the last round, and even like say the first, like not Florida, but against Toronto as well, it takes like 2 games for him to just sort of like, circle and then attack. And so I could totally see that happening. Again, there are injuries on both sides. Now there's goaltending concerns also for Colorado, because a lot of people forgot about what their goaltending situation was like with Francouz coming in, and it not being like Vasilevsky as well. He's kind of all over the place sometimes, but he's obviously an elite goaltender that you want on your side. So we see that Kucherov will likely play game 4. Braden Point is day to day, and Nick Paul got a little banged up in game 3 as well. And then on the other side, Burakovsky didn't play, and not sure about the status of Kadri. So regardless of like what the teams are like and how they're built and how they play, it's like, man, those injuries always can just negate everything, as we saw also with the Rangers. So I feel like the Rangers would have been better had they not been so banged up.
Well, that is one heck of an update. And by the way, Dwight McMillan watches the show all the time, so you just made an old man's day.
No.
I just talked to Mac a couple days ago. So, yeah, he'll be happy to know that Ron McLean's talking about him. And JSB, so happy to see you on top of the world. I know you're busy. Rock it tonight and enjoy the rest of the series.
Thank you. Hardly on top of the world. I'm just a traveling suitcase of like equipment and whatever it is that is my life right now. But Ron, it's always like a huge, huge honor to be on your show. So thanks so much for having me.
Thanks, Julie. Stay safe. See ya. Julie Stewart-Binks from NHL Network joining us, and the NHL on TBS. That was fun. Going to be a great night. NHL Awards tonight in Tampa. The Moose will be back for our final segment next. Taco Time Viewer Takeover. You were watching on the Game Plus Television Network, YouTube Live, and 24-hour sports radio at rodpeterson.com.
Have you subscribed to the Rod Peterson Show YouTube channel yet? Head to youtube.com/The Rod Peterson Show now.
Here's how your business can be a part of Canada's fastest growing sports talk show. All you have to do is contact us, and we will tell you all about the dynamic and exciting marketing opportunities we have, utilizing a fully integrated 360-degree multi-platform. Imagine your business seen and heard across Canada on Game Plus TV and around the world on the Rod Peterson Digital Network. You will use one of the most overused expressions in sports. You gotta be kidding me. Get your business involved. Contact the Rod Peterson Show today.
People donate blood for moments like this.
But there are lots of reasons why Canada's Lifeline needs donors every day.
Like the fact that someone with leukemia can need up to 8 units of blood a week.
Or that donated blood lasts no longer than 42 days.
Or to help new moms and babies, like Henry.
There's lots of reasons to donate blood. That's why we need donors every day.
The need for blood is constant. Join Toyota and our Toyota dealers in supporting Canada's Lifeline.
Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. Experts in all residential and commercial plumbing services and proudly serving Regina and area since 1978. Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. We'll treat you right.
Every kitchen is a restaurant. Ish. With Cavendish Farms restaurant-style fries.
Nestled in the scenic Qu'Appelle Valley, just 20 minutes northwest of Regina, is one of the finest golf courses in all of Saskatchewan, the Deer Valley Golf Club. The clubhouse has a full-service restaurant, and customers can enjoy a casual dining experience with spectacular views of the golf course and valley. A fully stocked golf shop, staffed by PGA of Canada professionals, is equipped to meet all of your golf apparel and equipment needs. Book your tee time, family event, or corporate tournament today at the Deer Valley Golf Club. Call 306-731-1445.
Grey Eagle Resort and Casino.
Are you ready? It's finally time for your next adventure, and it starts at Capital GMC. Custom order the perfect new vehicle for you, or reserve one of the hundreds that's already built and on its way. Can't wait? Get into a GM certified pre-owned vehicle that's on our lot and ready to rock. Plus, the American Export event is back and bigger than ever. We'll send your vehicle south, making you the most money for your trade. Guaranteed. Oh, and for a limited time, all name brand tires are employee priced. Only at Capital GMC. Your adventure starts here.
Business owners and marketers. Okay, we know you think we're pretty cool. That's why we want you to share in the coolness factor. Partner with the Rod Pedersen Show and market your business every weekday to sports lovers just like yourself. Take advantage of our many cost-effective commercial and promotional opportunities. Tell the world about your business. Yes, the world. Thanks to Game Plus TV and the Rod Pedersen Digital Network. Contact us today and find out how you can be a part of Canada's fastest-growing sports talk show, The Rod Pedersen Show.
You got something to say? You want to add to the show? What are you waiting for? Don't just sit there. Say something. Now, back to the studio with Rod.
The studio is Grey Eagle Resort and Casino, and specifically the Stage Bar, as we welcome back Darren Moose Dupont and the Flow. That is Darren Moose Dupont here for OT. You ready to talk to some of the viewers, answer some of their questions?
See
cool.
What they got going on.
Well, for one, we were asking, have you seen a CFL game that did not involve your favorite team? And I'm not sure people got the message. Glenn Brunet, watching in Medicine Hat, writes in and says, seen games in Regina, Calgary, Vancouver, Ottawa, and Toronto. Just there for the football. But I'm like, yeah, did you go to watch your favorite team play, or did you watch two other teams play? Yeah. And I might have misconstrued what he was getting at. But I'm very proud of today's show, Moose. We covered a lot of ground. We talked about the CFL Players of the Week, the Hall of Fame induction. Jay Woodcroft's got a new deal, 3 years as coach of the Edmonton Oilers, and the awards go tonight in Tampa Bay. And again, what do I tell you all the time? Consistency, consistency, consistency. It's not that I don't like change. I've gone through massive change in my life, but this NHL awards tonight, you're saying, what is Julie doing tonight? I'm like, I don't really know. She's there covering it for the NHL Network.
Yeah.
But this morning I was reading the NHL website, and they said the awards tonight will be carried on Sportsnet in Canada, TVA in Quebec, the French language sports channel, and then I can't remember what it was in the United States. But it's not in Vegas. And Julie wasn't even really sure why they moved it to Tampa Bay. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We just got used to it being in Vegas every year, and now it's not in Vegas, and nobody knows why.
Well, and I'm really confused, and maybe it's because we went a year without it, but did they always have it during the Stanley Cup Final?
Pretty much, yeah.
Because I thought because it's in the Stanley Cup Final, they're going to do it at the destination of wherever the games are. So if it would have been in Colorado, right now they would have had the award ceremony in Denver.
Don't you feel like it's been in Vegas forever, though?
It has been. But I feel like it was at a different time of the year, like after the Stanley Cup.
Was it always June?
Yeah? Okay.
Yeah.
Or before the Stanley Cup. Anyways, or between rounds. But either way, in the article I read, too, one of the American publishers, the opening line was, hands up if you just are finding out that they're actually having the award ceremony this year.
So it's not just me.
Because they had been handing out all these other awards over the last number of weeks. And I'm like, they're just going to announce them all on social media and in press releases.
And then this.
But now they're having the award ceremony to hand out 4 awards, or whatever they're going to do. So, I think we're all a little confused, but I think it'll still be a great night and celebrate. And I think we're excited to see, there's some question marks around Defenseman of the Year and the Hart Trophy for sure. So it'll be a good night.
Our poll question pertains to the General Manager of the Year award, the Jim Gregory Award. And the finalists for the award will be announced tonight at the actual awards. I know I'm not the smartest guy in the world, but this is confusing even, I think, for a brain surgeon. So they don't have the finalists yet. We came up with 3 of our own. Colorado's Joe Sakic, the Flames' Brad Treliving, or the Florida's Bill Zito.
Yeah.
And running away with it is Joe Sakic of the Colorado Avalanche. And I would think if you viewers have voted for him, the NHL voters probably will too. So we'll congratulate him early. Gino DePauli watching. He writes in and says, God's country loves Rod and Darren. Would love to see you guys at Siemens Stadium for an Okotoks Dogs game. I think that sounds grand.
Doesn't it?
Let's do it. I would love to do that, Gino. Let's look at the schedule.
Yeah.
And I want to go to Sylvan Lake, too, because they got a new team there.
Okay.
Looks like fun. Regarding, Gino goes on to say, regarding Ron McLean comparing John Cooper, the Lightning coach, to legendary Weyburn Red Wings head coach Dwight McMillan. Gino says, Dwight McMillan, still remember interviewing 3 straight weekends with 3 different SJHL teams in Melfort, Nipawin, and Humboldt. A great guy to deal with in the SJHL media. Yeah, Mac. He just called the other day. He's like, there's a guy on your show that has drones. We need a drone guy. He's still working. Pan Canadian Oil down there in the Weyburn area. Mac.
Yeah.
So, long story there, but a good story. Tomorrow, Jock Wilson's going to be down here. Famed Calgary sportscaster. He can talk NHL, CFL, anything, whatever we want to talk about. Are we going to go to Top Gun tonight? What is it? Maverick. You're not going to put your hand on my leg?
I won't. We'll have a seat between us, I promise. But yes, we'll go. Absolutely.
The first day of our summer residency began today here at Grey Eagle. And as I said, very proud of today's show. We covered a lot of ground and had a lot of fun, most importantly. Celebrate and observe National Indigenous Peoples Day today, however you would like, and we'll see you tomorrow with Jocko here at noon Eastern on Game Plus TV. I never told you to shut up. Well, a couple times.
Yeah. Have you subscribed to the Rod Pedersen Show YouTube channel yet? Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now. Approved.
Grey Eagle Resort and Casino.
Hell yes. Hoorah. Awesome.